Yo, this is the body that I call representing for the dub corner. DZL, big up yourself. Yeah.
Hear me, man? I'll be Upful Vibes in the dub corner, you know.
Upful Vibes is a fun and freestyle podcast focused on music business, television, books, news, and current affairs. Enjoy. All right, so let's go back to the planning part of it. What kind of planning tools you use for music video planning?
Well, I don't use any specific software for it. You could do, you could go into all sorts of things, whether you use Nifty or whatever to do your schedule. You just set up and you say, all right, I'm having a meeting about this. Then I'm going to do some casting. Then on this date, I'm going to, this is the date set for the shoot, and you put the tasks in, like who's bringing what to the shoot.
So I guess a bit of project management is important.
That's fine, but generally,
I mean, I guess back in the day, old school days, you had a book that had all the dates in it, and you had an assistant.
You would have that. You'd have a pull sheet, basically. Or do an Excel spreadsheet and just email it or whatever to people. But very often you don't even do that at all. You just say, all right, then, meet the artist, this place, this time, just turn up and shoot.
Okay. And so, I guess you do a budget, you have a treatment. Do you need to, when you're doing music videos, do you need to have a release form?
Well, generally you don't bother with them. Unless it's
protect you or protect. I mean, suppose you do a music video and you don't get the permission, and the music video. So can they sue you and say, "Hey, take it down"?
Well, they could, but nobody's really ever going to do that to you. I mean, little local music videos where people know all the people in it, nothing's going to happen. But if you're doing a bigger budget video that's likely to go for international, then what you need to do is you need to sign off location releases and releases for anybody that's in the video.
They're supposed to use a location where you just teeth like a shot, suppose like I'm in Spanish Town and I just take a quick shot, at the government office, to get a nice scene, and the security guard didn't catch me, No,
well that's fine, but I mean most of the time, it's fine. You can, in Kingston you can get a shooting permit so that you can shoot various places. If you want to go inside them, you've got to get permission. And you might have to pay a little bit of money, for locations. But generally, exterior locations are considered public domain.
Okay. Oh, that is interesting. I never knew that. And government places are public domain as well?
Yeah, and the law courts or the ward theatre, or wherever. Private properties are different. Like, for instance, if you're going to go to Sovereign Centre, for example, say you want to shoot on the steps there, you're going to have to ask permission and get some letter saying you can do it. Because security will come and run you.
Okay, very nice. All right, my last question on the whole music video situation is, what are the artists versus directors' expectations, when doing a music video? What do you expect of the artist? What do you expect of the director?
Well,
you touched some of it before.
Yeah, well, I mean, you expect, or hope that the artist is going to be professional about it and understand that the crew shooting the video, the director and his team, are there to help the artist. So, sometimes artists kick up a fuss, very often artists are late. So you have your crew there, all ready, because film crews generally are on perfect timing. It's what we do. We're there ready to shoot.
Yeah.
And then you wait hours, and suddenly the artist turns up, and then the artist hasn't got this ready, and he hasn't got that, and he's not got his clothes. I mean,
doing makeup.
You know, all that kind of thing. I remember, I'll just give you an example, which Renegade and Delamar will have a laugh about, I'm sure, if they watch this, right? RDX. Okay, so we're doing that. What was it called? Dancers Anthem, the one that was shot in the school.
Yeah, that was dope.
And there are hundreds of dancers, and we went there. We arrived at the place. Everybody's there at the school, and where are Renegade and Delamar? Okay, we're on the way. This is like 8 o'clock in the morning when we're supposed to start. I think that probably we managed to turn over, that means start shooting, at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So obviously by that time, the light, the light change. The reason you want to shoot from that time in the morning is because the sun is low, and even 7 o'clock, because it makes people look better, rather than just having a high sun right over their heads, So you, as a director, you want to get that. You want to get that nice light that makes the artist look great. The artist doesn't really understand that very often. They'll just turn up whenever, and the sun is overhead. Everything looks terrible, and then they just expect to get the best music video ever. Why can't they be on time? Anyway, so then, of course, it goes into it starts getting dark, and you have to still be shooting because you haven't had the time to shoot all your shots. It starts getting dark, the light starts going, and they go, "Where are the lights? Where are the lights?" And you go, "Well, look, you're not paying for any lights because, your budget was to do a day shoot, And so it goes. But we had a laugh, and the video came out well in the end, and
we got actually looked nice.
Renegade.
Actually looked nice. Dope. I mean, thanks for that tutorial, and I'm sure my listeners will, appreciate,
okay,
all of that stuff. Really appreciate it, Rick. I have a few more questions, because I want people to understand, and I want to also understand what plans and what you have in place. What projects you're working on right now?
Okay, well, currently, during this lockdown in the UK, I have not been able to return to Jamaica, and there really isn't very much production going on at all in Jamaica either, partly due to artists not being able to travel this year. So they've lost out on all the money that they would have made from touring, from shows, festivals around Europe and America. So there's not a lot of money running around in Jamaica right now. And even if I did come back, I'd have to go into lockdown for 2 weeks and then come back here and be in lockdown for another 2 weeks, isolation.
Yeah.
A month of
everything has changed now, you can't just go anywhere.
Not at all. So, with the rising numbers in Jamaica every day, it becomes more difficult. I would want to be in Kingston running up and down, but, they'd tell me to stay at my yard. So, what can I do? Anyway, so basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a documentary about the move from live performance into virtual performances, how that affects the artist, the audience, the viewer experience, what the technologies are that people are using for this. So I'm going to be interviewing a number of artists, big artists and small artists. I'll be speaking to probably a couple of UK grime.
Nice.
You
doing the interviews over Zoom, or are you doing it?
Well, that's dependent on whether they're willing to meet, because I want to show that Zoom is being used. So some interviews I'll do in person and some through Zoom. So I want to talk to Green Tea Peng, Stormzy, maybe Wiley. Then I'm going to speak with Beanie Man about Versus, his clash with Bounty Killer over Versus. Possibly doing Sam Smith at the Abbey Road Studios, the Beatles' old studios, at the end of the month. You know, big artists, smaller artists, people that are actually doing it. Some artists are doing it themselves. Some are using different platforms. And this documentary being done at this time is when this is happening, when the whole music business is transforming. How are people going to survive? You know, they're talking about this being, you know, here till not this Christmas, next Christmas. Yeah. You know, with no more festivals in Europe next year either. You know, crazy. This is the time when they would have been starting to plan and book the artists for the festivals, and nobody is being booked. They can't do anything. Yeah. So I want this documentary.
That would be a very interesting documentary. I look forward to it.
Right. Well, I mean, that's one thing, and then the other thing is my TV show, The Agency, which is nice. Yeah. You know, shot the pilot last year. Well, of course, you know about it because you did a fantastic audio mix, yeah, you know, with a great score and everything. And I now have that out. I've sent it out to various agents and production companies, and we're looking to, you know, turning this into a full series of 10. You know, trying to put the financial package together. I mean, when we'll be able to come to Jamaica and shoot it is another question, you know, because things like this involve crowd scenes, club scenes, where people are very close together, you know, and we have to look at how that is going to be done, whether it has to be people shot individually on green screen and put in, you know, to make look like a crowd. At a performance or what's going to happen. But certainly at the moment, you know, there are a couple of really good leads and the Agency TV show, you know, will come out and it will be the first Caribbean television show, let alone Jamaican, of course, on mainstream streamers.
Yeah, man, it's dope. I mean, the world is gonna love this one though, the Agency TV show, you know. I mean, I look forward, you know, I created the audio mix with your kind of, I enjoyed working on it, you know. So yo, enough respect for giving me the opportunity to mix it and also score the TV show, you know.
Sure.
Ready for the rest of them. Yes, man. Rick, yo, enough respect, yo. Thanks for coming on the Upful Vibes podcast. You know, it was a vibe. Thanks for, you know, imparting some of your knowledge, you know, and, you know, we look forward to having you again, you know, talking about more topics, you know. And, yo, stay safe, you know, it's a lockdown in London, you know. So, yo, stay safe, yo, and...
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and likewise, and big up the DZL Lab. Oh, I'd just like to give a shout out to Tia, your assistant. All right.
Yeah, big up to Tia. Yeah, Tia is Rick's daughter, who is my assistant.
All right. One love.
All right, Rick.
Yo, this is the body that I call representing for the Dub Corner. DZL, big up yourself. Yeah.
Hear me, man? I'll be Upful Vibes in the Dub Corner, you know.